We all love room service, the convenience, the comfort, that little touch that makes us feel cared for. But what if you started receiving meals you didn't order? What if they kept arriving colder, stranger, and always at the same time? This is the story of Room 712 and the room service that wouldn't stop. I checked into the Grand Meridian for a 3-night business trip. Mid-tier hotel, nothing fancy, fake marble floors, and the smell of recycled air freshener. The first night, I ordered a club sandwich and a Coke around 10 p.m. The delivery was normal. A young guy in a crisp uniform brought the tray, nodded politely, and left. But at 2:30 a.m., I was woken by another knock. Groggy, I opened the door to find another tray. Same sandwich, no Coke this time, and the same guy, except something was off. He didn't speak, just stared blankly and left the tray on the floor without making eye contact. I assumed it was a glitch in their system. A double order? I should have said something then. The next night, it happened again. This time, pasta, cold, like it had been sitting in the fridge for hours. The same knock, the same man, the same silence. I called the front desk that morning. They said no room service orders had been placed after 9 p.m. Not by me, not by anyone on my floor. Maybe another guest's prank, they offered. But it didn't feel like a prank. It felt planned. On the third night, I decided to stay up, watching the door like it might move. At exactly 2:30 a.m., there it was again. 3 soft knocks. The man in the uniform stood there, tray in hand, face empty. This time it was stew. Ice cold, no spoon, just a folded slip of paper under the bowl. I opened it. Eat, or he will come. I ran into the hallway, but the man was already gone. And the security footage? Glitched, they said. Of course it was. The next night, I stacked a chair under the deadbolt and stayed awake with the lights on. 2:30 a.m. came and went. No knock. Relieved, I walked toward the window for some air. That's when I saw him, a figure standing in the room next to mine, motionless, watching me through the window, his hands pressed to the glass, mouth slightly open, skin pale, eyes wrong. I called the front desk. They sent security up. 10 minutes later, they called back. There's no one in room 713, they said. It's been vacant for weeks, under renovation. No one should have been in that room, but there was no mistake. I saw him. I requested a room change the next morning. 2nd floor, no adjoining walls. I thought I was safe. Nothing happened the rest of the trip. No knocks, no strange food. Until I got home. I popped the trunk and opened my suitcase. Inside was a tray, still covered, still cold. And taped to the bottom, another note. He knows you didn't eat. I threw the tray away, and I haven't stayed in a hotel since. But sometimes around 2:30 a.m., I hear a knock on my front door. Soft, repetitive. And when I ignore it, I swear I smell stew. Next time you're in a hotel and room service arrives when you didn't order anything, don't open the door. And whatever you do, don't eat. Some stories are stranger than fiction. Some crimes more chilling than any ghost story. Tonight, we journey back in time to 1935 Kansas City, to a hotel room drenched in silence, blood, and unanswered questions. Welcome to the haunting mystery of Room 1046. It was a bitter January in 1935 when a man checked into the hotel President in downtown Kansas City. He wore a black overcoat and carried no luggage, just a hairbrush, a comb, and toothpaste tucked in his pocket. He signed the name Ronald T. Owen and requested an interior room away from the street. He was assigned room 1046. From the very beginning, something was off. He insisted on keeping the lights low. Maids recalled how the blinds remained drawn, casting everything in dim grays and shadows. When they cleaned, he asked them to leave the door unlocked. He said he was expecting someone. And someone did visit. On the second day, the maid reported seeing a note on the desk. "Don, I'll be back in 15 minutes. Wait." The same afternoon, a bellhop was summoned to bring towels. He knocked, and a deep, calm voice answered. "Who is it?" "Bellhop," the man replied. "Leave them outside the door," the voice said. But when the bellhop glanced through the slightly open door, he saw something strange. Ronald, sitting in the dark, illuminated only by the hallway light, staring into nothing, like a statue carved out of grief. That night, other guests heard odd noises, thumps, a possible scuffle. One even swore they heard a voice cry out, "Help! Someone help me!" By the third morning, the hotel staff was concerned. When no one answered the knocks at room 1046, the bellhop used his key to open the door. What he found would haunt him forever. The man, Ronald T. Owen, was on his knees, arms bound tightly behind his back with wire. His head was slumped forward, blood soaked the bedsheets, the walls, and the bathroom floor. He had been beaten savagely, stabbed multiple times in the chest. One ear was nearly severed, yet impossibly, he was alive. Barely. "Who did this to you?" the police asked as they rushed him to the hospital. His eyes fluttered open. "Nobody," he whispered. And then, he died. The police searched for Don, the mysterious visitor, but no trace of him was ever found. Even more disturbing, when they investigated Ronald T. Owen, they discovered he never existed. The name was fake. The fingerprints yielded nothing. No relatives came forward, and when his photo was printed in national papers, not one soul could identify him. He was buried in a pauper's grave until an anonymous caller paid for a proper funeral. The caller's identity unknown. They only said this: Ronald T. Owen was not his real name. He got what he deserved. To this day, the murder of the man in room 1046 remains one of the most unsettling, unsolved cases in American history. No one knows who he was, who killed him, or why. Only the empty room and the silence it left behind can still remember. And if you listen closely, on some winter nights, you might still hear it. A whisper from the dark. Dawn, wait. Not every haunted place is abandoned. Some horrors are hidden in plain sight, behind freshly painted doors, clean bedsheets, and a room key no one should ever hand out. Room 6A was never meant to be reopened. The hospital staff knew that. The city inspector knew that. But someone made a mistake, and now the guest who checked in has a story to tell, if you believe it. This is a quiet terror of Room 6A. The Crown Briar Hotel in Missouri isn't famous, but it is old. Built in 1911, its wallpapers peel with age. The brass smells like pennies and sweat, and the carpets are permanently sunken where bellhops have walked the same path for over a century. Room 6A was welded shut in 1993 after an incident. An incident that no one, not staff, not management, not even law enforcement, will talk about on record. This year, during a routine renovation, a contractor mistakenly unsealed the door, and I was the first guest checked into Room 6A in over 30 years. The man at the front desk looked unsettled.
Are you sure you have 6A?
He asked, staring at the screen like it was lying to him. Yeah, I said. Corner room. It's on the reservation. He hesitated, smiled too quickly.
Right. That room was just reopened. Enjoy your stay.
The hallway leading to 6A was colder than the others. Not AC cold. Wrong cold. Like stepping inside a forgotten freezer. My ears popped a little when I reached the door. That should have been my first warning. The room wasn't dusty. It was too clean. Like someone had sanitized it with intention. It had old furniture, a vintage rotary phone, an unplugged television, and an unlit chandelier overhead. It didn't feel lived in. It felt like a stage set. At 3:10 a.m., I heard something from the wardrobe, not creaking, brushing, like something pressing up against the inside panel. I opened it. Nothing inside, but there was a handprint on the interior wall, faint, as if left in condensation. 5 fingers pressed from the inside. The next morning I went down to get coffee. I remember walking to the lobby, passing the front desk. Then it was 3 p.m. No memory of breakfast, no memory of lunch. My phone showed a call placed during that time. A number I didn't recognize, just a string of digits. 6A, 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 6A. I went back to the room. There were deep scratch marks under the bed now. Fresh, long, like something had crawled out. That evening, a hotel maid knocked. Late 40s, pale hands.
You need to leave,
she whispered.
That room, it wasn't supposed to be opened.
She told me Room 6A had been sealed after a woman named Lillian Arkwright checked in with her infant daughter in 1993. They never checked out. The maid found the crib empty. The mother was in the closet, standing completely still, whispering numbers over and over again. When security intervened, she bit off a man's ear and carved a spiral into the hardwood floor with her fingernails. Lillian disappeared before police arrived. No trace, no blood trail, just one thing left behind, smeared across the mirror in something dark. 6A, 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 6A. I packed my bags. I tried to leave. The door wouldn't open. No deadbolt, no doorknob, just a flat wall where the hallway had been. The rotary phone rang. I picked it up. A child's voice whispered,
"We can't find her, Mom."
The mirror shattered behind me. Then I saw it. A bulge in the carpet, something crawling slowly beneath the floor, circling the bed. I must have passed out or been put under, because when I woke up, it was morning. The door was back, my bags were unpacked, and the spiral was drawn on the ceiling in ash. I left, no questions, no refund. Weeks later, I called to follow up, just to ask, stupidly, what happened to room 6A. The new manager on the phone said, "Room 6A? Yeah, that room's been sealed since the 90s. We don't even have a 6th floor." If you ever check into a hotel and they give you room 6A, ask for another room. If they tell you it doesn't exist, leave anyway, because rooms don't forget, and some doors don't like being reopened. Thanks for tuning in to Day 2 of the Draconian Universe's 30 Days of Terror. If you made it to the end, you're braver than most. Stay tuned. Tomorrow's story might just be the one that keeps you up at night. I'll see you in the dark for Day 3.